every week, this class is recorded. So the whole goal of this course is that you practice with Animal Flow, with everything in life. The more we practice, the more progress we make. And Animal Flow is very much a practice that is little and often at the beginning, actually permanently. It's not something you're going to do for 2 hours in one go, because it's very heavy loading on the wrists and the shoulders and upper body, and hips. So you just want to start your practice slowly, making sure whenever you practice Animal Flow that you've mobilized your wrists. So that's where we're going to start with wrist mobilization. So we're going to start with what's called magnetic wrist. So you're going to get your hands and you're going to put your palms of your hands together. And if you can't hear me, just let me know, or if I go blurred or anything, let me know. And then we're going to imagine we've got a magnetic bracelet around our wrists so that we can't unattach the wrist. We're going to turn little fingers apart and then pull the arms away and then bring them back in. And then just keep that going. Pull them out and bring them in. I'll do it on the side as well. Pull out and bring in. Going, pull out and bring in. Keep going, just check someone's not trying to get in. No, okay. And 2 more this way to really reach. And pull out and bring in. And then we're going to go the other way. So back to the start position and then thumbs and then back. So pull it in and roll. Yeah, so the good thing about this class is that every week when you get the recording by the end of the evening, you can practice. So these wrist mobility drills you want to do before you practice every single time. Never just go into Animal Flow without warming up and prepping your wrists and shoulders. Okay, now we're going to clasp the fingers together, keep the arms close, clench them and roll the wrist. Now, speed is not your friend in this. You want to take your time. The bigger the roll, the more you're going to activate through that joint. So you can see I'm really pushing one palm on top of the other. So you don't just want to mindlessly do this. You want to get into a big circle as much as you can, pushing down, rolling through. You can see I've kept my forearms quite close. I don't want to do this. We'll do that one next. And then back the other way. And one way may seem really hard and the other way really easy. Same with everything in life. We normally have a dominant side of the body that we always lead with. So note to self, try and work on your less dominant side as well. Okay, 2 more. And now we're going to go into wrist rolls. So you're going to create like a snake. I'm going in flexion and extension of the wrist, trying to roll through the shoulders as well. So you'll feel the shoulders start to get some movement through here. Really push the palm down and then let the roll happen naturally through the wrist and then go back the other way. Again, it may feel weird one way. Okay. And then we're going to do rocking shifts on the floor. So moving my camera, so you're going to go on your hands and knees, take your hands and put your fingertips back to front so that they're pointing away, pointing towards your knees, and very gently, with an exhale, do a little rock. It's going to feel really quite tight through your wrists at first, because you're going to feel like your wrists feel a bit like, oh, sometimes people say they feel like they're going to snap. Well, they're not going to snap. They're just not used to going into this intense stretch. So don't go too deep at first. Just do a little rock and then tuck the toes under behind you to get some flexion through the feet and push back into that. And then do a little anti-clockwise roll. So you can see, face you here, that I'm rolling. I mean, I'm going quite deep on it. You don't have to go too deep, because your feet are flexed as well. You're going to feel the toes, knees and hips get a little bit involved here as well. And the side of the hand. The thumb, the little finger's going to want to creep up, try and push it down. Now go back the other way. So now we're going clockwise, pushing back. And just loading very gently back into the heels. Okay, now just take the palms apart, fingertips pointing away, take the knees a little bit wider, and then allow your right arm to drop down straight and look at your left hand. Don't worry if you can't drop the head completely, then go the other way. Just go to where you can and use an exhale for each drop. So exhale to drop down, and then inhale to come back to your start, and exhale, drop down. So you're looking towards the bent arm, and the straight arm lets the shoulder drop down. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. And 1 more. Okay. And release. Now just clench your fist and release air out of your fist. Like this. 2 more. And 1 more. Now, this is a wrist relief position. So you put the backs of the palms together. And this is a really important position to remember, because throughout the class, whenever you're flowing, this is how you rest your wrists. So if you want to get into the rest more, try and drop the elbows more. So just putting the backs of the palms together. Another way to relieve them and rest them is that, but this is much easier because you can do it at any time. So if when we're flowing or whenever you're practicing, your wrists feel tired and they feel tight, just go into this wrist relief position. Okay, let's say release. So now we're going to start with our base positions. So just to explain that with animal flow, we have a language, the animal flow language, which is recognised all over the world. So whatever language you speak, it's always in English, but anyone who does animal flow will understand it. Even if they don't speak English, they'll know the animal flow English. So you'll learn it as you go along. You don't need to learn how to speak it. It's just English, and it's the way we call out determines the move. So it's always like the limb, the right or left, and then the movement, and that's how it'll be called out, but it'll become self-explanatory as you go along. So the first thing we're going to learn is the 3 base positions, A, B, C, ape, beast, and crab, and then we're also going to learn a variation of a beast. So the first thing we're going to learn is your ape. So what I want you to do to get into your ape and find it is go onto your hands and knees like this. And then I want you to push back into your heels and sit back. Now your ape may not be that low, so just go to where your ape is. So push back. Now your ape may be here, that's fine. Your ape may be here. But the important thing to note, if I just turn my camera up a bit, is your heels need to be down on the floor. So you need a connection with your heels on the floor. So if your heels are up, you need to come higher. So if you're doing this, you need to come higher. Because we also need, I'll go back to my deep ape, which is back here. Your back, your spine neutral, your eyes to the horizon, and your shoulder blades pulled back. So you can use your elbows to also open up through your knees, and we call this prying. But just to get that opening of the hips a bit more. So just stay in that position a sec. And just remember that's where your deep ape is. So your deep ape is wherever you can get your heels down, your chest open, your shoulder blades down and back, and your eyes to the horizon. So if you're tending to do this, just come a bit higher. It may feel harder, but that's fine. So go back onto your hands and knees. And then go back into your deep ape. So from your hands and knees, we're going to go back into the deep ape. Hands and knees, back into the deep ape. Okay. And then again, back down onto your hands and knees. And then walk back push yourself back into your DPA, wherever it is. Now you're in your DPA, we're going to do some movement side to side. So what I want you to do is just move into your right side of your foot and then move into the left. Your quads are going to tell you about this. That's good though. So just breathe through that. Yes, they're going to burn. Don't be frightened of that. Just stay in it for another 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then come back onto all fours. Okay, so we've done our ape. Now we're going to set our beast. So I'm working quite quickly, but because you've got the video, you can just recap on all of this, okay? So I want you first to always think about a clock face. So when I say throughout the classes, this is my 12 o'clock, or this is my 12 o'clock, think of a clock face, and that's how we'll determine the position of the limbs when we're doing the movements. So you are going to be down on your hands and knees. You want to spread your fingertips, and you want your arms to do what's called a corkscrew. So I'll demonstrate what I mean. So as my hand is connected to the floor, I then do this. You see how I'm rotating this elbow round? I'm corkscrewing my elbow. And what I kind of do by doing that is create this scaffold pole effect. I'm much more stable and strong doing that than if I'm like that. So try and learn to do this corkscrewing. You may not be able to get as much rotation as me, but the more you practice it, the more you'll get that corkscrew effect. So that's the first thing. Hands on the floor beneath shoulders, spread the fingers and corkscrew the arms. Now, take your knees as wide as your wrists. So if you were to draw a line from your wrist backwards, it would directly hit your kneecap. So you've got this line from here to here. Okay? And then what I want you to do is take your knees in line with the navel. So what I mean by that is where your belly button is, if there were a line across, you bring your knees in, and if you pulled your arm up from your knees, it would hit your belly button. So that's the first thing for setup. Now tuck your toes under, and to elevate into this beast, we don't shift through our hips, we push through the heel of the hand on the floor. You can see I'm kind of protracting up through my shoulders already, showing you this elevation. So I'm going to just lift my knees 1/2 inch. So literally as if I've slid a thin magazine or paper underneath my knees. So just hold it there. If you find that hard, you can have your knees a bit higher, that's fine. If you find that hard, you can gently drop the knees down and lift them up a little bit. Drop the knees down and lift them up a little bit. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Just sit back in the heels, release your wrists. And we're going to do 3 more reps of that. We're going to see if we can hold them for 10 seconds. So remember, if you need to release the knees, don't just collapse like this. Control everything and just gently drop them and then lift them up. Gently drop and lift up. Just use that elevation shift to just push the heel of the hand in the floor and allow yourself to come back up and down. So hands beneath shoulders, knees as wide as the wrists, knees in line with the navel line, neutral spine. Another teaching point is pull the shoulder blade away from the ear. So try and engage through the back a bit more by doing that. Okay, so we're going up in 3, 2, 1, elevate. And we'll hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, slowly lower. Just relax. And we're going up again in 3, 2, 1. Up we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and lower. You'll feel the burn in the quads, in the shoulders, in the core. Last one, ready? Corkscrew the elbows. 3, 2, 1, elevate. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and rest. Okay, so we've done our 8, we've done our beast. Now we're going to learn our variation of our beast, which is called a loaded beast. So a loaded beast is a position that's really important for us to learn and initiate every single form specific stretch that we do, bar 1 or 2, comes from this position. So it's a really important position to learn. We start from beast, and that's how we get into our loaded beast. So hands beneath shoulders. If you want to watch first, you can watch, and then we're going to practice loads of reps. So don't worry about rushing. So I'm in my beast that I was just in, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to push my butt back to my heels, and at the same time, I kind of open my knees a bit. So I get some sort of opening through my thighs, and then I take the arms forward and drop the head between the arms and hold it there. So I've got this long position. You can see my knees are still hovering off the floor. Okay, and I'll show you from the front. If you want to join in, do it, you can. So I've got my hands beneath shoulders, knees as wide as wrists, knees in line with navel. I push the bum back to the heels, and as I do it, I flare open my hips a little bit. And then at the same time, I start reaching forward with my arms and drop my head between my arms and hold it there. Okay, so let's do loaded beast to beast, which is a really quite a tough position, but tough movement. But it really teaches us the differentiation of how we get from a beast into a loaded beast. Banjo always decides to sit center stage. There we are. Let's try and stay there. So we're going to set beast. And then we're going to go into loaded beast. In 3, 2, 1, butt back to heels, knees hover off the floor, arms forward, head between arms. Now, to go into beast again, keep your hands where they are. Just step forward the left leg to beast, and then the right leg to beast. And I'm back in beast. We'll do another loaded beast. Push the bum back to the heels. Take the arms forward, knees hovering off the floor. Hold it there. And then set beast, step forward. 1 and 2. Good. And rest. And release the wrists. Okay, so we're going to put those 3 moves together. So we're going to start with our hands and knees on the floor, just in this form. We call this a baby beast, by the way. So if you ever hear me say baby beast, it's knees down. So baby beast, let's go into our ape. Push back into ape and hold it there. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From here, we're going to go into our beast. So you don't want to put the knees down, hands forward, corkscrew the arms, knees in line with the wrists and navel, and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go into loaded beast, back to the heels, arms forward, drop the head for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go to beast, step forward, 1, 2, into beast. And then we're going to ape. Sit back in the heels, back to ape for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're doing it all again. Are you ready? Set deep ape. I'll go at a different angle. Holding it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set beast. Drop forward, knees off the floor for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Loaded beast. Back to heels, arms forward, knees hovering off the floor for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set beast, step forward, left and right for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sit back in ape for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. just release your wrists. And then we're going to go into our final base position, which is crab, and then we'll put all of them together. So from your ape, I'll demo, and if you want to follow along, you can. If you want to just watch the first one, you can. So I'm in my ape, and to get into my crab, I'm going to take a hand behind and a hand behind. So my fingertips point away, and then I'm going to take my feet hip width distance apart. I'll show you from all the angles. So hip width distance or slightly wider. My butt is pulled back to my wrist. So what I mean by that is I don't want it here. You watch as I drive my butt back. I maintain elevation of the spine. My eyes are to the horizon, as if the sun's just risen. We say eyes to the rising sun, shoulder blades down and back, and really feeling that your lats, your back here is working for you. What some people feel in crab is they go, oh, my wrists hurt, but they're kind of loading down into this. Use this sort of little push that I taught you in the beast, this elevation of pushing the heel of the hand to the floor. Now I'm really creating space between my earlobe and my shoulder and creating that engagement through my lats by pushing through that kind of hydraulic movement here. So don't just slant down and lift up through the shoulders, lift up through the heel of the hand. Okay, so let's go from ape into crab. We'll set in our ape. Okay, hold on an angle, choose a different angle. Hand behind, hand behind. And then you might need to shift the feet forward a bit. Now, pull your butt back to your wrists. Eyes to the rising sun. Shoulder blades down away from the earlobes. Try and create length through your neck. Tuck the chin in. And you'll feel the back get involved a lot more. Okay. Now keep holding it there and keep thinking about your back working for you. We're going to try and do a couple of limb lifts here. So I want you to lift your left foot for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then your right foot for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest there. And now release your wrist. So we're going to do all 4 positions back to back, holding in 5-second holds. Okay, so let's start in our baby beast position. We're going to go back into ape. Ready? Set baby beast. And we're going back into ape, wherever your ape is. Heels down, spine long, eyes to the horizon. Engage through your back. Okay, now we're going to go forward into our beast. Hands beneath shoulders, spread the fingers. Knees as wide as wrists, knees in line with navel. Hold it there. Loaded beast, bum back to the heels. Knees splaying slightly, opening to the hips. Head between the arms. Reach forward with the arms. Really engage the lats. Squeeze through the shoulders. Back to your beast. Step forward. 1, 2. Into your beast. Sit back into your deep ape. And back into your crab. Hands behind. And then find your feet position for your crab. Bum back to your wrists. Elevate through the spine. Chin tucked in. And hold. Okay, release it there. Just do a wrist relief position for a sec. I'm just going to let the dog out. You might hear a bark. Sorry about that. All my training comes with barks. Barks are for free. Okay, so release your wrist, release your wrist. We're going to do that again 2 more times. Practice these base positions. So start in baby beast. I keep moving so you can see me in all positions. So sit back in your deep ape. Off we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set beast. Hands beneath shoulders, knees as wide as wrists, knees in line with navel for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set loaded beast, knees hover off the floor. Back to heels, knees splay slightly, arms forward, drop the head between the arms. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step forward into beast. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sit back into ape. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back into crab, hands behind, find your feet. Sit back into your crab, eyes to the rising sun, shoulder blades down, away from your ears. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to try and push back into ape. If you find that hard, you can find your way of getting back into it. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set beast. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Set loaded beast. But back to heels. Reach forward for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step forward to beast. 1, 2. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sit back into ape. Last time for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands behind into crab. Find your feet position. Back to heels for 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Good. Have a drink if you want to drink. So there are 4 base positions, which every single movement in animal flow will transition through these. So they are so paramount to our learning process. And the form of them is really important too, because if the form is correct, the setup is correct, the spacing is correct, then we won't find ourselves getting into flows where we're not positioned in the right setup for the next move, like a game of chess. If you keep everything tight and correct on these positions, every time you flow, your flow will look more seamless. The transitions are what makes it look seamless. So the drilling these basics, I cannot stress enough, is absolutely vital. So the biggest advice I'll give you for the next 5 weeks is drill these basics over and over and over and over and over. Just keep drilling them. Okay, so we are now going to do crab reach. So we're going to learn crab reach. It's a form specific stretch. So you can watch or follow along or do either. We're going to do some drills in them. So we're going to set our crab. So the first thing we do is make sure our position is really strong here, so that we've got the feet either as wide as hip width or slightly wider. Some people need it slightly wider. You don't want the heel too close to the knee or the foot far away, because you're going to get caught out there when you go into a crab reach. When we go into our crab reach, we want the shins to be vertical. So you see my shins here are now vertical. If my knees are too close, I'm going to get caught out. So you'll be able to work out your correct position once you start moving into crab reach. So the first thing we're going to learn in crab reach is how to set up. So if I call out a left arm crab reach, there's my call out, left arm, and then the movement, crab reach. So I'm going to get the left hand in front of my face, and I'm going to lock my eyes on it as if I'm looking through that hand. I'm going to need to really engage through my back here to hold me in this position while that hand's there. The butt stays hovering off the floor, only half an inch. We can just get my hand under my butt. Okay, then we're just going to go up slowly to this position. You can see my hand is above my nose. My eyes are fixed onto it. This isn't the whole position, this is the start. My hips are pushing up. And then I slowly lower and hand down. I do a right arm crab reach, the right hand in front of my face. Eyes are locked onto it. Butt's close to the floor. I drive up. 3-point bridge. Hand is still in front of face. Hips pushing up. Slowly lower and down. So we're going to do three-point bridges on each side. If you find it hard to do these, just go to where you can. They will open up, be quite taxing on hips. Hip flexors will really love these. So if your hips are tight and you feel that, then you know this is going to help you eventually. Set, crab, butt back to heels. So we're going to do left arm first. So left hand in front of the face, lock your eyes onto it. Okay, slowly start pushing the hips up and hold it at that three-point position. Push the hips, push the hips, push the hips. Slowly lower and hand back. Right arm. Up you go. And slowly lower. Rep number 2, left arm. Push up. Slowly lower. Right arm. Up. Use your breath. And slowly lower. 2 more. Left arm. Push up. And lower. And right. Up. And lower. So rest there a minute, release your wrists. This will feel hard on your wrists and shoulders. So a couple of teaching points, and I am going quite fast with all of this, on the basis you've got a week recording to practice. So go back over it and practice, 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 but I want to point out something. When you go up, your base arm, which is the arm that stays on the floor, you want that directly beneath the shoulder. So what I mean by that is this. As I come up here, I don't want to be there. I want to be there. I've created that scaffold pole again. Remember at the beginning, I said this. This is called corkscrew. Well, I call it that. Corkscrewing the arm. Now that allows this stable scaffold pole to hold me there. So as I go up here, do you see how I shift back a bit? Now I know I've got this line here, there. So if you feel a little bit out of sync there, just shift yourself. You can watch yourself in a mirror and practice coming down and going up. Okay, so now we're going to do the full crab reach, if you can, and we're going to take the arm over. So I'll talk you through as we do it. So we'll step crab, and we'll go left arm crab reach first. So listen to my call out. Left hand in front of the face. Slowly start pushing up through the hips. Keep the eyes on the hand. Now, once the hand starts moving over the head, you're going to shake the head. Biceps going to hug into the ear. Fingertips point to the floor and look at the base hand. Turn your gaze to the base hand. Now, keep your gaze on the base hand and start moving the other hand back to your three-point start. Now look at that hand and then slowly lower. Okay, so it is called animal flow. So now we're going to do the other side. So we did left arm crab reach. Now we're going to do right arm crab reach. So what we're going to do is start in our crab position. And we're going to put the right hand in front of the face. And we're going up. Ready? Exhale. Push into your three-point bridge. Then take the hand over. Bicep hugs the ear. Look at the base hand. Point those fingertips down to the floor. And return. Okay. So we're going to do 3 reps on each side. You're going to feel it to your shoulders. It feels good. Ready? Set crab. Follow along. If it's too fast, just go with your own time. I'll call out form as we go. Left arm, crab reach. Hold the hand in front of the face. Start lifting the hips. Extend the arm over. Look at the base, hand on the floor. Push the hips up. Pull that bicep over the ear. Put those fingers down to the floor. Return to crab. Keep the hips high and lower. Back to your crab. Right arm crab reach. Up we go. Push. Continue the reach. And return to crab. Rep number 2. Left arm crab reach. Up we go. And return. And down. Keep it smooth. Right arm crab reach. Off we go. And return. 2 more. Rep number 3, left arm, crab reach, up we go. Return to crab, hand in front of the face, slowly lower. Last rep on the right hand side. Right arm, crab reach, up we go. And return. And lower. And set crab, nice strong finish. And release your wrist. I need your drink after that. So have some drink if you need one. Stay hydrated. Yeah. So now we are going to do loaded beast unload. One of my favourite movements. So we're going to go from opening up the spine like this to protraction and loading through shoulders. So we're going to start this movement in a loaded beast. So this is a form specific stretch, so was the crab reach. There are 6 form specific stretches in level 1. So we're learning 2 of them today. So loaded beast unload starts in loaded beast. If you want to watch, you can, and I'll demo. Hopefully you found you'll stay on that side. So I'm going to set loaded beast. I'm going to unload. So my knees stay low to the floor and I come forward, keeping the chin tucked in. The knees are low. Now you can see I've loaded my weight over straight arms and I'm fully pulling into core activation. And I've got this protraction through my spine. I don't want this. I want this kind of turtle back. I get that much more by creating this, by going in with my chin. So if I do that, I'm going to go into extension. So I want you to think of when you come forward, keeping this close, okay? It's going to create really strong lower abdominal engagement. So the more you pull in, you'll create that activation through your abs. So again, we set loaded beast. And I say, loaded beast, unload. Knees stay very low to the floor, as low as I can manage. Arms stay straight. Chin stays in. And I go as far as I can on my toes and on the tips of my toes. Chin tucked in, arms firmly straight, loading my body weight over the shoulders, over the wrists, and then return to loaded beast. And again, loaded beast, unload, off we go. Slowly extend. Pull the core in, push the floor away with the hand, return to loaded beast. Don't let your legs straighten. We're not going into a plank. Loaded beast, unload. Knees stay close to the floor. Hold it there and return. One more. I'll change my position slightly so you can see. Unload. And return to loaded beast. and rest. Release through your wrist. Woo. So you will feel that is quite a powerful movement, because we go from fully reloading our bodies in this really full-on quad engagement and shoulders really having to be activated from our loaded beast into fully forward loading. So a lot of pressure and strength needed through shoulders and wrists when we take the movement forward. So it goes from quite an extreme position to another extreme position. As you're traveling through it, tension. Try and think of your animal flow journey. I was never taught this, but this has helped me personally, and we all learn by our own experiences, don't we? The more tension you create, the more you're going to get those holds more easily. So when you're going from that loaded beast to unload, if you really try and create the tension by pushing the floor away with the hands, you'll hear me say that a lot, you then generate that force all the way up your arms, up through your shoulders, which creates this. We want the beast to look like a beast. This isn't a beast. This is the beast, okay? So we're gonna now do 5 reps back to back, nice and slow and controlled. Think about the core activation. I'll try and talk through my out of breathness, all the teaching points as we go. Okay, so we'll set loaded beast from beast, how we learned at the beginning. Set your beast, hands beneath shoulders, knees as wide as wrists, knees in line with navel. Set your beast. Set loaded beast, bum back to the heels, take the arms forward, fully engage through the shoulders, squeeze the shoulder blades back. Now slowly unload. Knees stay low to the floor. Core engage. Stay on the tips of the toes as far forward as you can manage. Don't straighten the legs. Return to loaded beast. Push back. Knees hovering off the floor. And unload. If you find it too hard to stay knees off the floor, you can drop the knees. That's fine. And return. If you need to drop the knees between each rep, you do what you need to do. Unload. Rep number 3. Come on, keep the tension. Return to loaded beast. 2 reps to go. Unload. Push into that. Lovely. Beast unload. Push the floor away with the hand. Exhale at the top. Return. We've got 1 more to go. Unload. Come on, push. Push the floor away. Chin stays tucked in. Quads are burning. Hold it. And return to a strong loaded beast. Finish strong and rest. Woo. Release your wrists. The wrists are going to want to be released now. Well done. So we've done crab reach and loaded beast and load. We're now going to learn under switch. Under switch is from our switches and transitions. Switches and transitions are how we move from one to another position when we're flowing. So they're vital. So the first and the most basic switch and transition that we learn is called an under switch. The under switch has a multitude of variations, but this is the basic first level that we're going to learn. This is so important to learn how to do this well, because once you learn all the other under switches, like jumping under switch, reaching under switch, reverse spinning under switch, spinning under switch, reverse jumping under switch, there's hundreds, scorpion switch, there's loads, not hundreds. Every one of them will transition through this phase. So we need to learn it really well. Under switch, in its basic form, is a crab to a beast. So I'll show you how it looks. So you start in your crab. Really important your setup is right. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be there. I don't want to be here. You must look at, have I got that nice V in my leg? Have I got my bum pulled back to my wrists? and my eyes to the rising sun, and my shoulder blades down and back? Have I got that nice chin tucked in? Lat engagement. So we're going to move contralaterally. So if I lift the right foot, the left hand. If I lift the left foot, the right hand. And we're going to underswitch to a beast. So if I call out left leg underswitch, I'm going to lift the left foot and the right hand together. Okay? So left leg underswitch. I lift the left foot and the right hand, and I lift the right heel, because that's my break. I keep it close to the floor, and I go to beast. If I go back, left leg underswitch, I lift the left foot, the right hand, and I keep it close. Heels down, brakes on. Okay, show you from a different position. Left leg underswitch. So left foot, right hand. Heel is the break. Keep close. There. Left leg underswitch. Heel doesn't go down until I'm there. So let's do them together. Set your crab. Stay as low to the floor as you can manage. So we'll go left leg underswitch. Lift the left foot, the right hand, lift the right heel, and underswitch over to the beast. Okay, left leg underswitch, left foot, right hand, and go back. Okay, right leg underswitch, right foot, left hand, lift the right left heel, and underswitch. Right leg underswitch, lift the right foot, the left hand, stay low, and underswitch. Left leg underswitch, left foot, right hand, lift the right heel, underswitch. Left leg underswitch back, and there. Right leg underswitch, right foot, left hand, underswitch to beast. And then right leg underswitch, back. Now, rest there, because one thing you'll learn in animal flow, release your wrist, is I call hardest looking easy movements and easiest looking hard movements. So often in animal flow, you'll look at movement on Instagram and go, wow, that looks amazing. The hardest looking ones are often the easiest to do. Underswitches look really basic, but they're hard, because to keep your body low and controlled with that stability and tension engaged is hard. So never be fooled by the fanciness of what you see. Always, that's why I say drill these basics. Now, I want to talk to you about your break in animal flow. In an underswitch, your heel is the break. The foot is often the break in animal flow, either the hand or foot, but very often the foot, and very often the heel is the break. So what that means is when I'm underswitching here, I can't underswitch smoothly if this foot stays on the floor, this one. So if I'm doing a right leg underswitch, even though I lift the right foot and the left hand, I have to lift the heel in order to get that rotation. That's the break. If you see people do this, it's because they're cheating, because they're not activating their core, and it's easier to do. It may look easier, but it's going to be clunky. You have to learn to lift the brake and put the brake back on. So what I want you to practice over the next week with these is that when you do your underswitches, lift both the heels, then one foot, and then when you go back, the brake finishes. So I'm slowing it right down, but basically it's just so that you can understand. Try not to put the brake down until you're back in your finished position. So we're going to do 45 seconds of underswitches. I've got a timer. I'm going to set the timer, and we're going to go 45 seconds underswitches. You can go with me, or you can go more slowly. If you need to rest, you can rest. But let's get ready and do them. Set crab.
Starting your Tabata workout. Get ready. Exercise.
Right leg under switch. Right leg under switch. Left leg under switch. Left leg under switch. Right leg under switch. Right leg under switch. Left leg under switch. Left leg under switch. Right leg under switch. Right leg under switch. Left leg under switch. Left leg under switch. Right leg under switch. Right leg under switch. Left leg under switch. Left leg under switch. And rest.
Rest.
Well done. So,
Workout.
doesn't
reset.
matter how quickly you went, but release your wrists. Remember, your wrists are going to really talk to you about this for the next 24 hours. They will be, that's a great little drill to do. It doesn't matter how fast you go. You go as fast as you can control, and that applies to the whole of this journey. Don't speed things up for the sake of form, ruining form. If you can't control the movement with speed, slow it down until you can. So just practice until you can speed up and do it in your own pace. So we have 7 minutes left, and we're going to learn side kick through, and then we're going to do a flow. On your first week, we're going to put together everything you've learned, and we're going to flow. Okay? So first of all, we're going to learn a side kick through. Last position to learn. Starts from a beast. So I set my beast, and this is one that's very relevant to the clock face. This is my 12 o'clock, okay? So I corkscrew, step and beast, everything you've learned. Make sure the knees are in line with the navel. Now, to do a side kick through, I need to do a contralateral limb lift, which means if I call out a right leg side kick through, I have to lift the right foot and the left hand together. That's the first thing. So I lift them and then I start rotating. I'm going to show you from this way. So that's my 12 o'clock. And I call out a right leg side kick through. I lift that foot and that hand. Watch this left foot. When it's pointing there at 9 o'clock, I can then put the brake down. Break off. And again, look, right leg, side kick through, break. Toes pointing to 9, break down. See how I used my hydraulic arm again? It's straight, but it's lifting me up and down. Break off. Beast. Break on. My bum's still off the floor, here. Break off. Beast. What's that? It's an underswitch. I've just underswitched. So this is how I explain underswitch through everything. What am I doing here? I'm underswitching. I just don't go to a crab. What do I do here? I underswitch back. Okay, so we're going to learn that. So set your beast. Corkscrew your arms. Set beast. And we're going to do a right leg. Lift, left hand to half side kick through. When your left toes are pointing to 9 o'clock, drop the left heel. Then lift the left heel and go back to your beast. Now left leg, lift the left foot, right hand. When the right toes are pointing to 3 o'clock, drop the heel. Then lift the brake and back. Let's do 6 more. Right side. Then back to your beast. Left side. Back to your beast. Use your brake. Right side. Back to your beast. Left side. When the toes are pointing to your 3 o'clock, lift the heel to come back. Beast, 2 more. Right side. Back to your beast, lift the heel. Last one, left side. Lift the heel, back to your beast. And rest. So, while you rest, I want to talk to you about the next part of the movement. So, We use what's called an open sling in this position. This means the back of my palm comes here. And I want to really create this open sling across here. So when I am in, show you from this angle, this, I'll go this way, this position, which we got to, and I'm going to extend, I do this. So this arm is fully locked out. It's my base arm again. Okay, you'll hear me keep saying the same things because the same things apply. So here I am. So here's my 12 o'clock. Left leg side kick through. That's where we went to. Base arm, sling. Point the toe. I'm holding it higher to show you. I fully pointed and extended that leg. I'm turning the knee out. External rotation. I'm pulling the back of my palm here. Now, if I want to pull it more, I can slightly come forward with that shoulder to open even more. What I don't want to do is point the toe at the expense of the hip coming out. Keep the hip back in line. Okay, so there's a lot to learn, but let's just practice. First of all, doing the full kick through. Set, beast. Okay, right leg side kick through. Lift the right foot, left hand, kick through. Point the toe, pull the arm back in sling. Lift the break, back to your beast. Left leg side kick through. Lift the left foot, fully extend, sling. Open, 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 open chest. Lift the break, back to your beast. Two more. Right leg side kick through. Pull. Lift the break, back to your beast. One more. Left leg side kick through. Lift the break, back to beast, and rest. Now, release your wrist. We're going to do a flow with all of the movements we've learned today in the flow. So, yes, there was a lot to learn, but you can practice. So, get ready to flow. Just follow along with me. No pressure. I'm going to go slowly. I put in a flow here. Let me just remember what I put. Yes, that's fine. I'll remember. Set crab. Left leg under switch. We'll finish in beast. Right leg side kick through. We just learned that. Right leg under switch. Set loaded beast. Bum back to heels, arm forward. Loaded beast, unload. Chin tucked in, knees low to the floor, arms straight. On the toes forward. Return to loaded beast. Set beast, step forward. 1, 2. Right leg under switch will be to crab. Left arm, crab reach. Return to crab. Good. Let's do it again. Let's try and remember staff to do it on the other side now. Set crab. 3, 2, 1. Right leg under switch. We'll go to beast. Left leg side kick through. Left leg under switch, back to beast. Left set loaded beast. Loaded beast, unload. Come on, keep it strong. Keep those out. Retract the shoulders, extend. Return to loaded beast. Set beast. Left leg under switch. Right arm crab reach. Return to crab. And rest. Well done, release your wrist. So it's 1:16. How are you feeling? Good, good. So release your wrists. So let me just put everyone on recording. I know lots of people are watching recording. I've had about 9 messages. So everyone will get the recording every week. You'll get the recording by the evening. Practice throughout the week. Don't forget your wrist mobility. The email that you get the recording on, you're free to message me on there. However, there is a WhatsApp group for this class. And on that WhatsApp group, you can message and then everyone can get involved is best. So keep practicing and I'll see you next week. Remember, if you can't join, you can get the recording and practice anyway. Everybody gets the recording. So I hope you enjoyed it. See you all soon. Bye.